Mhm. Hello, we're back doing some coding, chatting and chatting. I'm making an example app for something, and this happens to be a book app that lets you search for books and read the details about the book, and has pagination or a load more button. And I'm gonna add filtering and sorting now, I think. Um, to sort of wrap up this example, which I'm using for something um, unspecified at this moment. Okay, so yeah, search books. Um, let's add ordering first. Order by. So this would be a string. Order by, and its default will be negative relevance. No, positive relevance. That makes sense. Order by relevance, and I believe it's just going to be something like order. What do they do here? Order by equals order by. So let's see if that affects anything. It shouldn't. I think that's the default. So let's just green arrow reload. And cool, we got that. Now if I do negative order relevance, let's see if they support negatives. Maybe not. Oh, I didn't actually search for anything. No, I guess. Okay, exception failed to load books. Okay, so that's not how you do a, let's see, Google Book API order by. Order by relevance and newest. Okay, so I guess there's just two options. Let's do newest. And now if we rebuild, or at least search again. Okay, when did this come out? Oh, you don't have the year? Oh. I think that's something that the book property will have. Then we got filtering, cool. ID, e tag, title. Is there nothing in here tells you the year? Whatever. I'm just gonna see if it's working. Okay, well, we can, let's see. I mean, this kind of looks the same. What did ChatGPT say? Yeah, we can do relevance or newest. I'm just going to print out the response dot body. Or actually, let's just print out data. Um, let's print out items 1. The first item. And we'll rebuild. And okay, is there anything here for a year? Volume info. Yeah, publish date. Maybe that's something we want to capture. But this was 2019-11. See, that kind of makes me feel like that's not the newest one. um, book service, yeah, order by. Order by. Um, order of the volumes and the results. Order by relevance. Yep. These are the same though, right? Okay, it's like this one, this little dart one, this one, and this one. And if I change this to relevance, which I think is how you spell it. Nope. Relevance. They're the same. The same friggin' order. So either it's just that this these all like let's do something more like Harry Potter, because in theory, um, there we go. Oh, wait, almost we're getting the same results back. Okay, there's something wrong with just my pagination in general. Start index. Let's just take a look at this. Start index, load more. Start index. Books.add all, and then start index plus equals book. Like, what? Let's see what's actually happening here. So we get this one. This is just our normal get request, which is doing start index 0. When I click load more, this one's start index 10. Yet, unless it's just that this result doesn't have enough options. Let's just see. Okay, so this one, does it just go back to the same one? No, okay, so this is working. It must just be, for some reason, the Harry Potter search does not work. Okay. Um, order by. Yeah, I don't really understand why the order by isn't working. By default, search request returns max results, where max results is a parameter of pagination, order by most relevant first. Yeah, you can change the ordering. Yeah. This is the default. But yeah, when I change it to newest, let's clear our little network inspector. Change to newest, I still get that. And the request itself, for some reason, didn't show up on our network inspector. Ah, I hate this network inspector. Like, what is it inspecting? Stop recording network traffic. Start again. Yeah, like, this thing's so buggy. I'd pull this up in web, but the images don't load in web on this because of CORS issues, I imagine. Typical. Load more. There we go. Okay, so let's just see. So we're doing order by newest. Did I like spell it wrong? Order by. Google Books API order by not working. Yeah, order by bug. We got pretty specific support on this. Okay, great. So maybe we'll skip ordering. Let's just get rid of ordering. And let's do, I think there's a way to do a filter. Or there's different types of filters, I guess. Let's do filter, partial, full, free ebooks, pay ebooks. Let's just do that. Filter. And let's make this a little bit fancy. Can actually, let's add something to the book model. Or in this class, we'll have an enum, a book type, and we'll have partial, full, free ebooks, which we need to kind of rename. And yeah, hey, someone in the chat. We have Soap back. Hey, Soap, how are you today? I'm making some like example apps for a course I'm making. And this is the fourth app I think in the in the course. And this is essentially what we're doing, what this the topic of this lesson or whatever is networking. So I'm just using an API, an existing free API, Google Books API, which is free to an extent. Like they do have limits on the free one; you have to pay otherwise. Um, but yeah, so basically, it's a pretty simple, just list and searching for books. And right now, I'm trying to just add filtering, just to kind of add like a little bit of an extra um, tidbit to this. Free ebooks, paid ebooks, and just ebooks. Okay. Um, what do we should call this? You know what? I think we're not going to actually put it there. We're going to put it as part of the surface and call it book type filter. Um, and then basically we can have a start index of that and that. I'm just going to mute for 1 second. I'm still here. Okay, I'm unmuting now. The baby started crying, so I thought I would save you guys from that. Um, all right, hi, Lori Beth. Nice to see you here. Um, we are doing some exciting, simple Flutter development today. I'm getting ready, prepping for a Flutter course, a beginner-friendly Flutter course. A lot of my content is very like, I wouldn't say advanced, but it's like intermediate at least for the most part. So I'm working on a course that will be like just complete entry level, either to I've never used Flutter before, or even I've never really coded before. Like Flutter/Dart is my first programming language. So I'm prepping the materials for that, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of do it on a live stream, just to chat and stuff. Um, to answer your question though, Soap, there will be code available for this if you take the course. Either taking the course on YouTube as the course will be free on YouTube as it comes out, and it's going to be released kind of like as just like a video every few days. It's not going to be like all done and then packaged up and put together, because I kind of want it to be a little more like casual than like a Udemy course. However, the source code for it will likely, I haven't given it full thought, but it is probably something I'm going to save for my members. And it's like a $3.99 a month or something like that to just be a member, which gets you access to my Discord and various other things, which is really fun. And it will also give you access to the source code of this. Alternatively, if you don't want to like pay monthly, you can when it's all done, I'm going to be putting it out on like Udemy and Coursera and all that kind of stuff, and then you can just have a one-time payment to watch it there, and of course get source code and stuff. That's my plan for this. That being said, I'm kind of it's not open source right now because this is just like my reference materials, but we'll see where things go. There might be some like blend where some stuff like the starter files go up. Also to add to that, I have a lot of open source stuff. Like if you go on my GitHub, or just watch my pretty much every video I do, except for the tech startup from scratch series, is all just open source. So that hopefully will answer you. Next question in the chat. To what extent is AI assisted coding currently beneficial for Flutter development, particularly considering the impact on code quality, development speed, and maintainability? Yeah, I do use AI a lot. However, I think what's important is that, just in general with AI and software development, like the pattern that's kind of happening is a lot of people are coming and they're letting the AI kind of like guide them, and they're like just kind of taking it and going with it and not necessarily learning it. I think what's important is having that foundational knowledge and then more flipping the script on that. So it's like I'm guiding the AI and I'm getting them to review, like, a lot of time I'll write to ChatGPT like this is kind of, I'll kind of give my thought process of what I think I want to do and get some like pros and cons or whatever. And just kind of thinking of them as like a buddy. It's almost like a rubber duck to, talk to. Now, I use ChatGPT a lot as a search engine, essentially, like things that I would normally Google. I'm going there to just get it a little more like concise, quicker, and to my exact liking. Um, and and I use it a lot just for like I forget the syntax for this, or what's a way to do this. But yeah, you have to be careful. I think for like Flutter and Dart, like because of like the how old the training data is, Flutter hasn't changed a ton since at least the big GPTs were trained. And of course you can customize your GPTs and give them knowledge bases and stuff to get a little bit closer. I find it's a lot better than like for instance Svelte 5, which I use a lot. Um, it can be a bit tricky to work with AI on that because it's very new. So it's always, even though I can tell it like this thing and you can import in stuff like, like this is what a rune is, I can kind of teach it some things. It will still end up like after a long conversation going back to like the old way of doing things. They have to like remind it. So I do think Flutter and Dart are better, especially Dart. Like Dart, although there's been some new features and stuff, systematically hasn't like changed that much. And Flutter has probably changed a bit more because there's just new widgets and stuff like that. So I don't really use cursor and stuff, and frankly it's just because like my previous computer, when I had too much stuff running, like, and cursor would add a lot of overhead, I would run into just like problems, so I kind of just don't really use it. However, I have a new computer now, and I'm potentially going to use like windsurf or cursor or something like that, just to kind of stay in here more, but we'll see. um, I that's my answer to AI. I think it's just like be kind of careful. Really like use it as a soundboard, more than just a hey, okay, copy and paste and go. Um, but it's definitely helpful, and it should be part of everyone's development workflow these days, unless you're like inventing something completely new that wouldn't have relevant data in the trained data. Cool. Um, Next up is, yeah, okay, so we're doing this. I wanted to double check these. So partial, full, free books. Yeah, okay, cool. So basically, I'm gonna be able to pass in a book type filter, and if the book type filter um, is not null, we are going to add this filter, whatever. Otherwise, we're just gonna add nothing to this. And we're using book type filter.value, which is actually like this parameter here, because this is just our like internal name of it, and this is essentially what our API needs. This is actually one of the, well, it's not that new now, probably like year and a half old feature of Dart, where you can have enums with properties and stuff like that, and it's honestly like so much better than how it used to be, because you usually have to make, if you want to do something like this, oh shit, I just noticed we're missing that. If we wanted to do something like this before that feature was allowed, you would actually like have to kind of make like a to string and a from string thing and have like a switch case, and it was like very overkill. Um, but still like a normal way of doing things. I also am gonna get rid of this print now. Okay, so let's test this out. And so by default this is null. I'm gonna make this equal to book type filter dot full. And let's just test to see if this works before we do our UI. Because I learned that the ordering by is not working in any way. Where's our app? Okay, this is different. The results are different, so that's cool. Let's just change it to like ebooks only or something. And we will have to do a green hour reload. Wicked. Okay, this seems to be working. So let's set this to null by default, and to set it by null by default, we could, of course, just do null, but that's redundant. Basically, just doing this will mean it is null. All right. What did we want to do? We need to actually add UI for this now. So I'm going to close some things. So I actually have a book list screen and a book list screen pagination. And the reason for that is I just want to have like two versions of this one, of the simple one. The simple one doesn't have the pagination basically and isn't going to have the filtering and stuff, because in my course, we're going to build just this part first. And then we're going to build this one However, it'll be just us updating this, and it's easier um, just to have two versions. So that's why there's two, in case you were really, it was keeping up at night. Okay, so now we need to have a book type filter, book type filter. Let's just call it that. We'll use our little underscore convention here because it's a private property. And what we can do is when we do the search, when do we actually do the search? Here it is. Book type filter, which will be null by default. However, we are going to somewhere in this, yeah, let's put it where our search bar is. So search, so I'm going to take this and actually wrap it in a row, but also wrap the text field in an expanded so that it still takes up as much space as it needs, as it can. Otherwise you run into weird issues because there's no idea what it's supposed to do. Then we're going to have a filter thing here. Like could do like a drop down button. Maybe that's a good idea. I think it's, yeah, drop down button items. So here we would use, we can basically take the book type filter dot values as its items. Is that what this was? See? Oh, that's not how this works. But what we are going to do is actually map this and turn it back to a list after. But our map will be the, we'll call it filter. And with here, we need to return a drop down menu item. Is that what we do here? Child, text. And for now, we'll just do filter dot value. And on change, this will be our filter. We are going to go set state and set our book type filter equal to that filter. So let's just see if that kind of works. Oh, no, it didn't. The row, we have an expanded of a text form field. Is it because the drop down button? Assert timer. What the heck? Oh, is it just because there isn't actually a selected item? No, it's not. This isn't a select box. Did I put this in the wrong spot? Nope. Let's make sure it is to do with this. Okay, it is to do with this, naturally. I assume it is the text field in an expanded. Oh, it's not. It's actually the drop down button. So maybe I'm just doing drop down button wrong. I think I had something. Drop down button, values. Oh, we need values, I guess. Or value. The value is going to be whatever our book type filter is. Now we can set this to a type of book type filter null. And let's drop down menu item. Let's drop down menu item book filter. Yeah. And what we need to do here is actually, we're going to spread this to, which means we won't actually need this to list anymore. And we're actually going to put in null as the first item. Oh, wait, sorry. Spreading the wrong thing. Let me just try this again. So we actually want to spread this part. Spread that, and I want to actually have null first because you could, in theory, have nothing. And we can say filter.value. The filter might be null, so we want to then fall back to, I'll just say all or something like that. Okay, I think that is possibly our problem. Might not be. It's not. So yeah, it is a rendering issue. Let's just move temporarily. Let's get this working, and then we can actually do this. I'm going to remove this widget, remove this widget, and we'll just do it like after the Is it the drop down button that's breaking it? Hang on. Let's see. It is the drop. Oh, it's the drop down button breaking it. What was that error? Does this have to be in like a sized box or something? Um, drop down button. They're doing it in a row. Main axis size, main axis alignment, that's space between, and let's just put, yeah, text that says filter. What is going on? Drop down menu item. Oh, is it because this needs a value too? Value should be filter. Still definitely have an issue here. What is going on? Order options dot map value dot to list. This is what we're doing. We have a drop down menu item, drop down menu item, drop down button. Oh, did we not actually set this? Type filter. That shouldn't matter though. That's just what is going on here. It's just like I'm so confused. Okay, I think it has something to do. So we have a column with these two things, but this thing's wrapped in and expanded, so it should be fine. So I can have the filter. Why can't I have both? See, there's our little drop down, so that's nice. What is going on here though? So really, if I just add this, I get this crazy error, or no, now it's working. Okay, I have no idea. That's fine. Okay, let's also wrap this in the same padding that this has, just I guess 8. That doesn't seem right. Okay, that's fine. This is for example purposes, doesn't have to be beautiful. And we're gonna have a new thing here. Final string label. And now we're gonna have all these lovely warning errors, whatever, because we need to actually put in a label. Partial, full, free ebooks, ebooks. What is the proper way to write ebooks? None of this looks good. Ebooks. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like email. The ebooks. Oh yeah. Paid ebooks. And then just ebooks. I'm not sure the difference of those, but it's here and we're gonna use it. So now that we have a label, we can actually go to our drop down button, and instead of using the value, we can use the label. We have to save all, and then we should have a bit of a prettier experience. I don't know why the drop down button looks so ugly for some reason. Like, why does this look so ugly? I don't care. I don't care. Um, what is there like a color on it? What is style? That's just the text style. I want to make this look a little bit prettier. Can I just turn off the elevation? No. Okay, drop down color. Let's look at this. The background color of the drop down. Okay. Let's see if this is even the right thing. And I always like to just do colors.red to test stuff. So that's what it looks like when it's open, okay? Let's see if there's another thing that's color. Focus color, the color for the buttons when it has input focus. But it doesn't have input focus, I don't think. Yeah, what the hell? I guess we can use focus color. Let's try what that is. Oh, it does kind of. So I guess it uses the Oh, okay. Colors dot white. Okay. I mean, can I do colors that transparent? No. This drop down button is just like terrible. Um, Whatever. Again, we don't care too much about the UI in terms of it looking pretty. We're teaching people functionality here. Okay, so the filtering, we have that. And then basically we need to use the book type filter, but we actually, anytime that that changes, we need to like rerun the query. So we basically need to call the search again. Um, if load more, uh, we do, okay, so we set it to the default. We just search again. We'll call the search. And that should be everything we have to do. So now if I change this to partial, full, yep, this is working. Free ebooks, paid ebooks, ebooks. Cool. I wish the order by would work. It would be nice to have like a combination of things, but it's literally not. Like, I don't know why it's not working. Um, Unless all the books came out on the same day, which, maybe that's just what their data says. Anyways, I think this is good. So yeah, I'm gonna basically commit this stuff. Book app, book example app ready. Or let me just look at my notes. I might have had some other ideas in here. This is yeah, working with APIs, so searching books, book detail screen. I don't think I'm gonna have a favorite screen. We kind of already covered that. We've also covered local storage. Um, Build search. We're really going to build the search screen. We're going to do that. We're not going to do any of this, but we are going to add pagination, and then we are going to add filtering. And that kind of covers, you know, a good chunk of the stuff. The topic of this is networking. I wonder if there's like one other cool thing we could do. I actually asked ChatGPT for some ideas for this a little while back. So favorites, yeah, local storage. I'll do that. Download or preview link. I feel like not many of them are going to have that. Okay, there's categories, but that's just going to be the same as really a filtering, kind of. It's like subject, whatever. Print type, okay, get book, pagination, search. Okay. Yeah, I think this is good enough. I'm gonna add, oops, git add dot git commit. Book app example done. Okay, and then next in my course notes, okay, that doesn't need something. Okay, yeah, my backend as a service. So basically the things, yeah, I've covered so far is in this. We have a flashcards app, which is really just teaching like super basic Flutter stuff and a little bit of like staving stuff to local storage, a little bit about forms. We have a quotes app that's just teaching like state management. We have we even have like the counter app, basically really basic Riverpod state management. And now we have the books app that's more about networking. Um, I think I actually want to, I think it might be a good idea. Maybe it's even earlier on. Um, because we do state, okay, we do styling and theming. Um, like I think it'd be kind of fun for people to do like UI clone, which I know there's lots of tutorials out there and stuff, but like kind of like building on the foundation, like almost like being like, we're gonna make, what an Instagram feed looks like. It doesn't have need to have any functionality, just be like the data and stuff. Um, Maybe that could just be part of lesson 7. And I don't even know if I need an example for that because I can just build that probably on the fly. And I already kind of have something that I could use for that. Maybe I'll even just pull that in. Let's take a look at that. UI clone, UI clone, Instagram feed. Because that, just teaches like a lot of things about layout and like icons and stuff like that. Styling and theming. Yeah, I don't think actually, yeah, I think that could be cool. I'm gonna just take a quick look at something. I want to see how portable something I made is. CD, um, where would this be? I'm just gonna open this whole thing. It would be social feed card. I'm just looking if I have anything really. It's pretty basic Flutter stuff, except for this, which I wouldn't need. I'm just gonna like play with this for a minute. So we're gonna do Flutter create Insta clone. That's what I'm calling it. And in Instaclone, we are going to have a widgets folder. And in here, we're going to have a post card.dart. I'm going to just load this in. We're going to get rid of all this stuff. We need to make this just a stateless widget. Social post, we'll need that model. And this is just, yeah, this is something also that might be worth covering is freezed, but we don't need it here. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll get into using something like freezed on a future project. But yeah, let's make this model. We'll make a new folder called models and a new file called social post model.dart. Let's also name this widget. Okay, there's our widget. Here's our model. Now for this, I do need to do this differently because I was using freeze. So let's call it social post model, sure. And we're gonna have a final int of ID. In fact, probably don't need. Let's keep it, sure. Final string UID. Final. I don't care about the artist. We would just have something like a string of a username. Final string of a user avatar URL. We'll have a final nullable string of location name. Final string. Yeah, we can have a body. We can have a created at. I'm not going to worry about image or like the type. We're going to just have a final string of image URL. We'll have a final int of like count, final int of comment count. I won't worry about aspect. Let's have hashtag final list string hashtags. And We don't care about that. Okay, so let's make these all required fields. Oops. Except, let's just save. What the hell? Wait, where did hashtags go? Did I accidentally just get rid of it? Yeah, I did. Okay, makes sense. We can make some of these just default to some stuff so that we don't have to pass them in. Equals 0, equals 0. Body, location name. This isn't actually required, and nor is this. Let's assume those are required. Also, yeah, let's just keep ID. I don't really care about that stuff. Okay, so now we have our social post model. Get rid of this. And color dot blue gray, which is not really the right color. But let's see where our next error is. Social. Okay. I'm gonna kind of. Okay. Well, actually, let's get rid of this because everything's just going to be everything's just going to be an image, and we're just going to assume it's a square image as well for this thing. Or maybe, you know what, that might be a cool thing to cover actually. So maybe we'll actually just store the aspect ratio, double aspect ratio. So aspect ratio equals 1.0 as default. Let's put this in a more logical spot. This should be after the image URL. Maybe we'll call it image aspect ratio. Wow. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we just be returning that, and we'd be using post dot image URL. This whole switch case we can get rid of, which is probably a lot of stuff. Social post model. This should be ratio. Image aspect ratio. Yeah, cool. That should be social post model. Social post model. And for this, we are, yeah, just, oh yeah, font awesome icons. Format light count is also something I need to grab. We'll cut that in a bit. Oops. Social post model. And we basically want most of this stuff. We'll come back to that. So let's see if there's any major problems. Social post model. Yeah, we can do all that too. Okay, so most of it's actually here, which is great. We don't really want the artist avatar. Instead, this will be a network or image dot network using the post dot avatar or oops, social post model. I forgot one. Dot user avatar URL, and we want to do maybe like width of 48, height of 48, something like that. However, we want it to be inside a container with the same width and height. And border decoration. We want ABC to use 24, half of that. And we want to make sure we have somewhere on here clip behavior, clip dot anti-alias. Okay, that solves that. Here we would use post dot user name, and if the location, we would do that. Cool. Awesome. I guess we will need to add font awesome icons. So let's just search for that. I mean, I guess we could just use icon dot icons dot heart, or is it like? What is it? Heart? Favorite. It's probably favorite. Favorite. Favorite outline. We will need to fix that. Let's actually do that now. So over here, actually, I'm going to grab these guys here. We'll put this on our model. We can show how to do little getters and stuff. Date format, we need to import. Ooh, I guess these are packages we're going to need. We need the internationalization pack. Damn it. Actually, I don't. I think we can just use time ago. Um, rather than also installing that. So let's go see. It's probably just called time ago. Flutter pub add. Well, I mean, it's definitely called that. Except I need to be in the right directory for this. This is inside our insta clone. Flutter pub add. Boom. So we get time ago imported, and we can actually have it created at date time. Also, format light count. That's something that we can search for. Format like count. And we'll just kind of put this in here instead. And instead of passing in the count, um, we can go. Actually, no, this is better as a utility. Format, let's just call it format count. Then we call this and import it. And as for comments, yeah, we're going to want to show this. The only difference is we do not want to use the bottom modal sheet container because I don't have that. So let's just get rid of. Basically, you're going to want to return essentially a column. And it's going to have some children. And the last child will be this expanded thing here, which actually we'll just grab. I think that's. We'll have our expanded. We are also going to want to have like a title at the top. Let's put in literally like comments here. We'll make that better in a bit. And here, or maybe we just won't. Might be overkill to do the comments, to be honest. We can still have the button. I'm just gonna get rid of comments. So basically get rid of this whole, wait, what? On tap. Okay, this is the social comment button. Uh, let's just get past the on tap. All I really want is the row. Get rid of everything in here because that's just like a lot of stuff. And we're just going to return a row with this stuff. And format count of the comment count. And we'll just use icons.comment. That should do it. Okay. For bookmarking, kind of the same idea. Icons.bookmark. And icons.bookmark outline. Hey, we now have no more errors in this. Let's see how it looks. So go to well, let's stop our other Flutter app. Oh, we also need to obviously, well, not obviously, but let's make a new folder called data. New file called what's called like posts dot posts data dot dart. We'll have a final list of social post model. Is that posts? All posts equal just this. Is this what this is called? Social post model? Looks like it is. And then basically in our main.dart, we'll just do everything in there. We'll just get rid of, we'll get rid of this. And we're just going to have something called like post list screen. Mm, mm, mm. So this will be a stateless widget. Stateless widget. It's going to return a scaffold. We can have an app bar, title, text, clone, insta clone, sure. And I don't care about that. It's going to have a body of a list view, top builder. And we need to import in posts equal are all posts. I mean, all posts, sure. In fact, we can just use this. So we have item count is a post length, and basically here we go and return our social card or postcard widget, which actually social feed. Yeah, we'll just call it that social feed card. And of course, we must pass in. Wait, what? Social feed card. Yeah, I should just take a post. So we're just going to pass in posts at the index. It's a list view builder. Cool. Now in our main.dart, we need to do something like this and import that in. Okay, now obviously our post data, we need to create a post. Social post model. I feel like I did this already in my other thing. Where do the cards actually come from? Social feed screen, probably on the screen. Mock posts. Mock posts. Get social mock posts. Sweet. So I'm just going to take one of these as an example. And we'll get all the errors because we don't need this stuff. This is actually just going to be image URL, which is not a list. Hashtag Flutter coding. Fun. Comment count, aspect ratio, it's image aspect ratio 1.0, which we should put this probably really close to here. Body, that's fine. It's telling us we're missing something. Username. Yeah, let's have username, Tyler Savory, and we're missing user image URL. And we can kind of just grab another pick sum here. Let's say, let's make it like 64 by 64. I realized that there's probably one thing we forgot on our image. With 48, we need to do a fit of box fit dot cover. All right. So we just coded a bunch of stuff. I mean, mostly copy and pasting from something I built separately. Let us start it up. While that is going, what can I do here? Oh, classic error. Classic error. If I would have built to the iPhone, it would have been fine. But we need to put inside this specific one, Mac OS runner debug profile entitlements, we need to say, hey, you're allowed to access the internet, which I find is weird personally. I don't know if people agree with me that this is something you have to like opt into. Like, hey, you need to opt in to have access to the internet. Like, pretty much every app accesses the internet. Where and it's extra weird because iOS doesn't require, like, by default it's just allows it. So I've always wondered about that. Let's just rebuild. Cool. Look at that. So we kind of have Instagram, except the color is terrible. Um, let us, um, I guess probably it'd be nice to use, yeah, let's use a dark theme. How the heck do you do that again? Brightness? I forget how to do it in just like vanilla. Color scheme dot from seed. Or it's just like color scheme dot dark, I think is what we do. There we go. And then, yeah, we want to use for our post, the one thing I just picked like a random color because, so we'll use instead of, oh, that's not the right thing. It's just the blue gray. So we would just use like theme dot of context dot color scheme dot card dot card color, I think. Cool. This should be scrolling. Oh, it is scrolling. It's just it's a Mac app. So there we go. We have a little Instagram. Isn't that amazing? Now the color I feel like is not the best, or maybe we just have to make our app bar like a different color. Let's actually just see what it looks like when we actually have two posts. So to do that, we would go to our post data, and we could simply just copy this. And maybe we do one that is 1024 by 512, and that way we can change our aspect ratio to 0.5. I might have done it backwards. Oh, what happened here? Yeah, I did it backwards. This should, I guess, be 2. Mm -hmm. Do you have to rebuild? Oh, I guess I have to rebuild because this is kind of like constant data. It's not a constant, but okay, that looks pretty good. Um, it's not perfect, and I don't think in the course I have to be like we're doing a pixel perfect, you know, thing. It's just to teach these different things. We can like stuff, we can bookmark stuff. Doesn't really do anything, but it's pretty sweet. Oh yeah, there's also this cool expanding thing. How did that work again? Expand. So we use rich text. Yeah, this was kind of complicated, but it will teach people things. Okay, so we'll definitely do that. -m, we'll do Instagram, clone example, ready. Yeah, just need one package, and literally the only package was just to do the time ago thing, where it's like 3 days ago, 3 days ago, whatever. Um, Stupid debug banner. We have this nice guy here. Also, oh, let's actually, the image size is not right. Avatar. So let's do like, yeah, 32, 32, 32, 32. Let's do something like that. That feels a little bit better. It's kind of sticking out at me. Um, I think what's kind of cool here, I think, is if we actually did dot light, it would still, no, it wouldn't look good because we're not using, maybe I should actually fix that instead of using color white everywhere. Because that's not really a good practice anyways. How often do I must have this quite a bit. Okay, only 9, that's not too bad. Okay, So let's just go through them systematically. So we're doing white here. This is what the heck is this? Padding container. Oh, this is like is this like a divider? Yeah. Theme dot of context dot text theme dot. Is there like text color scheme dot on. Yeah, what is the? Because I don't really do theme stuff this way any. On surface, I think is what we want. So there. Okay, yep, that's what we'll do there. Okay, let's search for the next one. White. So here we would do theme dot of context dot color scheme dot on surface variant. What's that look like? All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, the next white we would just do theme dot of context dot color scheme dot surface or on surface. Should probably just copy this instead of typing it every time. And we would just change this to be on surface variant, I think. Let's just see now that we have something interactive. Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm not sure if there's even a difference in those two colors, but works for me. Okay, next white. We'll use our on surface variant. This will be, oops. And we'll just use this on surface point. And this should be theme dot of context dot text theme dot body small dot color. I think body small kind of adds that like slightly lighter gray. We could do it that way, or we could just do a with opacity thing. On surface dot with values alpha 0.6 or something. Okay, I can't say I like this box shadow. But we should have some kind of divider between these things. We could just do that like a border bottom. Border side dot own or border. How do you do this again? Okay, just go like bottom, and then it's border side color. Do I still have this on my clipboard? No. Theme dot of context dot color scheme dot on surface. On surface dot with alpha or with values alpha 0.3 or something. 0.1. 0.05. There. And I have to open up Instagram to see that. Actually, maybe it'll look better on the top instead of the bottom. Where do we do that? Right here. Put the border on the top, just so we actually have it like there. Cool. And then I think the next time we do there's like the divider later. Let's make this like even less. So you have like kind of the darker one there, and there's like a really light one there. Cool. Okay, now that I've done that, let's just make sure that this works in, that's kind of annoying how it shifts over. That'll be a bonus tip to fix that. Yeah, let's go back to our main.dart, and let's just go back to our dark theme. Cool. It'll look even better on a phone, I suspect, because like this is this is good. I like that. Um, cool. And I'll probably be actually doing this on an iPhone because I think that gets people more excited. Yeah, comments. That's not gonna do anything. Um, but yeah, this looks nice. There'll be a lot of lessons to be learned here, and we could have a little theme switcher, I guess. But then we have to do when is this falling in? Um, this should be falling in pretty early. Wait, where am I doing this? After the flashcard app. Oh, we are doing it after state management. Let's see. Let's see if this would be easy to just add. Um, we could use like a different state management package just to like throw a big thing. Or we could use like, um, I'm gonna actually just ask ChatGPT something. Um, okay, is there a good way to set the material app um, material apps theme data color scheme based on a toggle switch? I'd like to do this in a nice way without using an external state management library. Saying yes. Cool, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Some with an inherited widget would be cool. Um, so we would just convert this to a stateful widget. Um, toggle theme mode, theme mode.light, toggle theme. Then, oh, but this is annoying because you're like passing in. Wait, oh, I kind of, wait, that wasn't with inherited widget. Option two, wait, how would we do with an inherited widget? Theme controller, inherited widget. This might be confusing to people. Mm, yeah, we'll just kind of do this by passing through stuff. Uh, post list screen. I mean, this isn't a great way to do it, anyways. Should we just add Riverpod? um, maybe this is a good time to use the signals package, signals Flutter, just to kind of have another way of doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna undo all this stuff. Let's install signals. Oh, I'm not actually in the thing. What are we trying to go into here? Insta. Okay, so we would have, let's make a new folder called providers, just to keep the same thing. And let's have theme mode provider dot dart. Final theme mode equals signal. And it would be, we'll basically kind of now look at a combination of these two things. Does this ever annoy anyone? Like ChatGPT, at least for me, it's always like friggin' loading. It's like so annoying. Even if you click escape, which would normally like solve that in a website. Okay, so brightness.light. Oh yeah, we still would use, we'd actually set it up this way. Main, so we'd have theme, and then we actually have dark theme. Sure. And then we set the theme mode. theme mode. Now theme mode is actually, what's theme mode supposed to be? This is what I actually wanted. Theme mode. Um, theme mode dot, I guess we gotta import that. Theme mode dot system. That'll be the default. And now we would use theme mode, which we can import from this. And it's theme mode dot, I don't actually forget how to do this stuff. Dot value. Cool. Okay, so let's just see if that even works. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, do I still have brightness in here? What am I missing? Dark theme. Okay, what is this here actually saying? Fail to assert line, color scheme, brightness equals null, brightness equals... What? I feel like this is not how you're supposed to do this now. Wish you could like copy this easily. Theme window value. What? Okay, what is this error saying? Color scheme brightness equals null, or brightness equals null, or color scheme brightness equals brightness. Does not match color scheme brightness. Either override color scheme brightness or theme data brightness. What? There. Okay. Although that doesn't seem to be working because my system is not. Oh, wait, maybe no, my system is dark mode. Let's just double check that that's true. Okay. See, I don't remember how this works. I think the ChatGPT stuff's out of date. Flutter theme mode. Theme mode for dark and light. Let's just look at this. How old is this? Recent enough, I'd say. Reading an article. Okay, we have our light theme, brightness, primary color, accent color. Yeah, that's basically what we had. Dark theme, light theme. This is literally what we have. Brightness.light, brightness.dark. What am I missing? Let's find another one. Theme, dark theme. Yeah, like this is what we're doing, but I'm getting this weird error. Here's what we're gonna do. What I've learned, that's really fun. If you can't copy and paste something with ChatGPT, um, you can just take a screenshot of the image and it will read it for you. Oh, is it because I'm doing colors from theme? Okay, so really can I just get rid of the color scheme? And then it will actually work? Yes, that's why. Okay, thanks. See, ChatGPT is not always right, guys. Okay, so now in order to change this, um, yeah, this is just a fun way to show this. First of all, we need to turn off the stupid debug false. Hate that thing. Hate that thing. And basically, in our post list screen, we want to, on our app bar, have an action, and we can kind of do just a drop down, and maybe we will just have maybe theme mode.value. Yeah, theme mode. Let's just use light. I'm not gonna actually care about system because then we have to have 3 options. Um, so let's just have an icon button, for instance, on pressed. We'll do something, and for now we'll use icons dot. Is there a sun? Sunny. Is there also a moon? No. Is there like nighttime? Dark? Dark mode. Okay, good. Is there also a light mode? Light mode, yes. Okay, that's great. Let's just put light mode then. And let's make the size of it like smaller. Yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, so really though, we want to use our theme mode. Theme mode. Theme mode equals theme mode. So if it is dark, we actually would show the dark mode. Otherwise, we would show icons.light mode. And it's saying I have this little squiggle here because I need to actually be looking at the value of it. On pressed, we would just do something if if and actually we can cast this up here. Final theme. I can't actually you call it theme mode. Maybe we'll use an underscore here. Oh, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do this. So if it equals dark, then we would go theme mode dot theme mode equal. How do you actually set something in signals again? I know I did a whole tutorial on it, but it was a long time ago. Oh, you actually just go dot value equals theme mode dot light. Else we go dark. That's not working. Listen. If it equals dark, we're setting it to light. If it equals light, we're setting it to dark. You would think that would work. It's like working, but not updating the state, I think. Let me click it, save, come back, it goes. Is there something else I have to do with signals? Okay, with the initial value, we read it, and we write to it just by going like this. Changing value, security updates computed, and effect depends on signal, ensuring our app state is always consistent. What? That's not what's happening here. So because this this was false. Signals can be created globally inside classes or functions. Okay. It's not recommended to do them in there. Okay, so Yeah, like what's a good way to structure this then? Let's ask, are you familiar with the Flutter? Oh, you know what? You know what? I know the problem. I know the problem. We need to use probably signals Flutter. Maybe not. Okay, never mind. That's not the problem. I was thinking this is maybe just like the Dart version of it. Let's go to the full documentation. Oh, wow. We have full docs now. Good job, Rory. Yeah, look, there's signals Flutter. What the heck? Let's just try to add that. Flutter pub add signals Flutter. And now instead of importing that, we're going to import signals Flutter. Then we're going to just rebuild. Still nothing, eh? Do I have something in the debug console? Yeah. Like the signal is getting updated. That's kind of cool. Signal provider. Oh, okay. Maybe this just changed a lot since. Am I in the right? Wait, how did I find this? This is from, yeah, this is from the package. So um, let's do it this way. Class, we'll call it theme mode provider is a Flutter signal, and it's actually going to be of type theme mode. And our theme mode provider, its value will be super.value is going to be equal to theme mode dot light. Get rid of this. And we could just actually make this say toggle. Or we could just say like set dark value equals theme mode dot dark. Theme mode dot light. Okay, so let's use that now. Now we actually need an how does this actually work? We wrap it. Oh, maybe that's. Yeah, I guess we just wrap this in a signal provider. Signal provider. And the create method will be getting an instance of the theme mode provider. Oops, theme mode provider. And we're not going to pass anything in. And here, so create, and then where do we actually get access to it? Counter, where does this come from? Counter 0, create, builder context. Oh, here it is. Theme, oops. Dot value. Oh. That could be null. I guess that's fine. And then here, how do we actually talk to this thing now? Where do they do the plus plus? Floating action button counter increment. Okay. This is very much, so let's just have, we can put this here, final signal provider of context. This is very much like provider's API, which I haven't used in a long time. We want theme mode provider here, listen false, and we'll just call this theme mode provider, I guess. And oh, but we do actually want this to watch as well. Can I just do it this way then? Theme mode. And instead we would go theme mode dot set light, set dark. Okay, let's see how that worked. Oh no, still not working. Is it just something to do with, is there like, am I missing something that this all needs to be wrapped in? Core signal, computer effect, installing. Is it like a wrapper you have to put everything in? I wonder if it's something to do with the fact that we're wrapping it in the material app. I can see it's changing. There's no provider, create. Okay, maybe using signals was a silly idea. Even with the Flutter signal package, probably not. Okay, so they're doing signal builder. I don't know if this is the right. Let's click on this. Oh, yeah, this is not the one I wanted to use. So this is not going to be helpful. Maybe we use, okay, let me go back to my course materials. Course overview. Because we could, you know what, we could do this. Well, we introduced state. We've already introduced VerberPod at this point. I kind of want to be like, here's another thing. We could just maybe use value notifier. Never mind. How would I achieve this with value notifier? Yeah, like, let's just try it this way. Wrap your material app in a value listener builder. Okay, so we'll remove this widget. Put this, we're going to wrap this in a builder, value listener builder, and the listener, value listenable, will be our theme mode notifier, which is already imported. We should also say what we're tracking here. And builder, this I think has value as the second thing, and then child, which we don't need. Is that what this is? Widget, yeah. So theme mode will be just value here. Okay, and then here we can get rid of this, and instead, the toggle theme, we'd have to do kind of the same thing. So we would wrap. We could wrap just the action, the icon button in a builder, and it will be kind of the same idea. This of type theme mode. Value listener is going to be this again. And then we need we could actually call this theme. Call it theme mode. Theme mode widget. So if theme mode is equal to that, otherwise we do that. And if theme mode is equal to this, we do that. Cool. Then we need to actually do, yeah, then it's just theme mode dot theme mode dot, oh, we actually use the theme mode notifier now, dot value equals theme mode dot light. In this case, we would do dark. Let's see if that works, because that would be cool just to do this with like raw Flutter, get rid of the package. Oh yes, there we go. Yay, value notifier. I actually love value notifier. I do use it quite a lot on one project specifically. Okay, let's get rid of in our pub.dev of this project, instaclone. Where the heck is it? Oh, here it is. Pub spec.yaml. We can get rid of signals and signals flutter now. And we can do a flutter pub get and make sure we still have errors because I'm probably just importing it. Yeah, I am. Great. And let's just make sure things are still working. It's beautiful. Look at our Instagram clone. Whoa, bright, dark, bright, dark. Oh, I want to make sure the hashtags still look good. Yeah, they really do. Okay, cool. All right, that's great. Let's stop that app. Let's go back. Theme mode. Also, let's actually go to my notes, which I seem to have lost. So we'll do this, the UI clone. So actually, yeah, we'll talk about custom fonts and stuff. UI clone will be the Instagram feed, dark light mode, and theme switcher with notifier, or with value notifier. Sweet. Okay, so we're almost here. Other than me making like potentially slides and stuff, I need to. What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have like 5, but this one's like basically anything. And then yeah, I'm gonna do the next thing I have to do is actually build this. What was my plan here? We're gonna have authentication. It's a pretty big jump. Is it? Popular packages. We went from the networking API. That's fine. So yeah, we get into authentication here with Supabase. We're going to have a list of events. We're going to allow RSVP and canceling to events. We're going to see all our RSVPs. Yeah, covering the auth stuff, auth list screen. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be manageable. I'm not going to do that now, but I think that's pretty cool. I think we're pretty close. Yeah, because the reason, I mean, I'm planning all this stuff. I also want to make sure in the first video, I want to be able to like show people what we're building before building it. Because I think, you know, when I made a course before, I just made the first video last. But in this case, the way I'm doing this one is I want it to actually be like, I want to roll it out over time. Partly because I just, you know, it's a big time commitment and I'd rather be putting out content than being like, okay, everyone, I'll see you in 6 months. So yeah, I think I just need to build that last one, and that'll be enough. And then more lessons will come along the way. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for today. We got 5 apps, 5 apps built. Not, I mean, we only did a couple of them today. We did two, two today, basically part 2 and 1.5. Okay, we didn't do that much. But anyways, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to take off. Thanks for your comments and your continued support, and I'll see you again.